What's up everyone? So I was taking a look at some of the footage from our last seminar. It came around the video of me showing everyone our teaching progression for the deadlift. And I thought you guys would be pretty interested. So check this out. She's gonna walk up to the bar and place the middle of your foot or her foot under the bar. So just like that squat, right? The middle of your foot is a really important concept when we're doing any barbell movement. So the middle of her foot, and then I want her feet inside of her shoulders. That's a little, you can kind of mess around with how wide your feet are, but somewhere inside your shoulders, and that we'll talk about what that affects to later on. So the next step that she's gonna do is she's gonna go and she can soften your knees a little bit, but keep your knees locked out, and she's gonna lean over, and you can round her back for right now, and grab the bar right outside of your shins, right? So the bar is over the middle of our foot. We don't want it to move away from the middle of her foot, so when she grabs it, she cannot move the bar, okay? So the bar is locked in there, she grabbed it, good. Next step is to bend her knees and bring her shins to the bar, good. So what that does is that sets her up in a position where her hips are locked in right now. I don't want her to move her hips, and there's some different individual differences, and we can talk about that, but in general, her hips are gonna be set in that position. So we're gonna get back down to that position. So, yep, grab the bar, bring your shins to the bar, and the next step is she's going to pull her chest up, get the slack out of the bar, and tighten her back, okay? So, the big things that we're looking for is that her shoulder blades are directly over the bar, okay? So, when you do a heavy pull, your body's gonna put you in this position, okay? It doesn't matter, and you can see if you've seen someone deadlift, their hips shoot up before the bar even moves. That's their body pulling them into a position where their shoulder blades are over the bar. So what we want to do is we want to put you in the most efficient position. So we're just going to stick you in that position right away, so we're not wasting time or energy pulling, that your body just gets out of position and you're all out of whack. So get back in that position. So step one, middle of your foot. Step two, grab the bar, bring your shins to the bar, pull your chest up. Good, and now she's going to take a big breath and drag it up her leg. Good. So the lockout position is just shoulder blades or shoulders behind the bar, right? So if she's leaning forward a little bit, I don't want that. Her hips aren't fully locked out, and sometimes the knees aren't fully locked out. So stand up all the way. And there's no need to over-exaggerate it, right? So over-exaggerate, yeah, there's no need for that. You'll see some people, there's no extra really anything you're getting from that. So let's go back down. Good. So let's start from step one and let's talk about what's happening here. So step up to the bar. So when she is figuring out her foot position, where she puts her hands in the conventional deadlift also affects, or where she puts her feet in the conventional deadlift also affects where she has to place her hands, right? So if she puts her hands wider, go wide. Now do a deadlift. Right, so look at where the bar's at on her thigh. Okay, so now go back down. Bring the bar, yep, bring your hands closer, go up. Good, so that cut off about 2 inches of her pull, or that added 2 inches of her pull. That's not really doing anything. It's just making her life harder because she has to pull a longer distance. So when we're looking at getting stronger and putting more weight on the bar, if we can do things that can mechanically make it more efficient, then we need to put you in that position. So your feet are inside your shoulders, you can mess around, we talked about it, and I actually kind of like the toes out position. Good. So the bar's over your middle of your foot, grab the bar right outside your shins. Awesome. And we normally start people with a hand over grip, and then as it gets heavier, that's the first thing that kind of goes. So there's a couple of different options, but we can talk about that later on. So then she's going to bring her shins to the bar. Good. So if your hips affect the rest of your body in the deadlift, right? So if she drops her hips, watch where her shoulders go, right? Her shoulders, either the bar gets pushed forward or her shoulders go behind the bar. And we already know that we need to get the shoulder blades behind or over the bar, and the bar needs to be over the middle of your foot. So we need to keep your hips in a higher position to keep all of those in line, okay? So the big thing is that when you're pulling your chest up, you're keeping your hips in that same position. Good, yep, pull the chest up. Keep your eyes up, yep, and then we're keeping the bar in a straight line over the middle of your foot by keeping it on your leg the whole way up. So take a big breath, drag it up.